Hi everyone, it's me, Deborah Laron, and I am back for lesson number 5. Oh boy, you're gonna love this one. Woo! Before we get to it, we better do the prayer on page 28. Okay, so get your books. Here we go. Are you ready? Oh, it's getting good now. The prayer. I am here only to be truly helpful. I am here to represent Him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do because He who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever He wishes, knowing He goes there with me. I will be healed as I let Him teach me to heal. Thank you. Awesome. Now, in reading number 5, lesson number 5, I want to get right into it because it's such a powerful lesson. At one point in my life, eventually these things are going to get out, but at one point in my life, I was, well, you might say a little bit of a rageaholic. I surrounded myself with people who were very rageful. I grew up with a parent who was a rageaholic, so I learned it well. I got a good teacher. And when you're in that atmosphere, it's real easy to react. And when I came across this lesson, I went, what? Ooh, talk about resistance. So I had some searching to do about this. Let's read it. You'll see what I mean. Maybe you'll have the same effect. We'll see. Okay, here we go. Lesson number 5. I am never upset for the reason I think. There's more. This idea, like the preceding one, can be used with any person, situation, or event you think is causing you pain. Apply it specifically to whatever you believe is the cause of your upset, using the description of the feeling in whatever term seems accurate to you. The upset may seem to be fear, worry, depression, anxiety, anger, hatred, jealousy, or any number of forms, all of which will be perceived as different. This is not true. However, until you learn that form does not matter, each form becomes a proper subject for the exercises for the day. Applying the same idea to each of them separately is the first step in ultimately recognizing they are all the same. When using the idea for today for a specific perceived cause of an upset in any form, use both the name of the form in which you see the upset and the cause which you ascribe to it. For example, I am not angry at, and then you fill in the blank, for the reason I think. I am not afraid of John or Jim or Susie or whoever, for the reason I think. But again, this should not be substituted for practice periods in which you first search your mind for sources of upset, in which you believe, and forms of upset, which you think result. In these exercises, more than in the preceding ones, you may find it hard to be indiscriminate and to avoid giving greater weight to some subjects than to others. It might help to precede the exercises with the statement, there are no small upsets. They are all equally disturbing to my peace of mind. Then examine the mind for whatever is distressing you, regardless of how much or how little you think it is doing so. You may also find yourself less willing to apply today's idea to some perceived sources of upset than to others. And if this occurs, think first of this: I cannot keep this form of upset and let others go. For the purpose of these exercises, then, I will regard them all the same. Then search your mind for no more than a minute or so and try to identify a number of different forms of upset that are disturbing you, regardless of the relative importance you may give them. Apply the idea for today to each of them, using the name of both the source of the upset, as you perceive it, and the feeling you experience it. Further examples are: I am not worried about blank for the reason I think. I am not depressed about fill in the blank for the reason I think. 3 or 4 times during the day are enough. I am never upset for the reason I think. Boy, does that go against everything that I once thought. I thought I knew exactly why I was upset. Well, that's another one that threw me for a loop. So how can that be? Well, it seems as though the things that we get upset about are simply pushing buttons that are held deep within us from past experiences. I heard someone say once, when you squeeze an orange, what do you get? Orange juice. If you squeeze someone who has anger already in them, what are you going to get? Anger. If you squeeze someone who is peaceful and loving, all that's going to come out is peace and love. So, it's interesting. When I was easily upset, when someone would, come at me with harsh, strong words, my retaliation would be harsh, strong words. And, I didn't like the person I was becoming. I kind of turned into my mother. Not a very fond thought. You always kind of hate that one. Well, at least I did. Because she was really kind of rageful at times, and I didn't like that part of her. And I didn't like to see that part of her in me. It's not a very attractive thing to be, rageful, yelling. I like to be peaceful and calm and nurturing, and not because I'm a people pleaser. It's not that I want to hide anger or stuff anger and then, blast people later. It's like, there's a book by Byron Katie called Loving What Is. I don't have to be a doormat. I don't have to let people walk all over me. I don't have to just say, okay, do whatever you want to me and I'm cool. Has nothing to do with that. I don't have to condone bad behavior. But I don't have to get upset because people aren't acting the way I would have them act. That is their choice, not mine. They have their own God, their own choices, and I have my own choices. I can't control anyone but myself. And when I try to control the world, never does work out right. I'm really never upset for the real reason that I think. It goes back further. It goes back into the past. And this is just a brief looking at this lesson. So take the lesson for what it is. Think on it for a moment or two. Let it just settle into your mind. And that's all you need do for today. I just gave you a little bit of understanding of how I've come to understand that lesson. And it's really been quite an eye-opener for me to know how things that I've done in the past just keep repeating themselves until I understand what they are and how I can change that. Again, it's been an honor and a pleasure, and believe it or not, I'm growing as I am sharing these experiences with you. So I thank you for that, and I am honored. I'm honored about all my experiences, and I'm grateful for the course and what I've learned from that, and I'm grateful for how it has changed and opened my heart. So from my heart to your heart, thank you, and I hope to see you again real soon.